Silence. Order. I have returned to the demo scene. To all those people who were so mean. I will destroy everything they got. Make me your leader, vote for EvilBot.
Hello and welcome to EvilBot Privat.
Sieht ja aus wie bei EvilBot unterm Sofa.
Wo ist er denn hin?
Actually, we managed to somehow lose JCO.
I'm sure he's coming back eventually.
Lost in a mood.
He didn't have beer back then when he left, so maybe
He has no lack of beer.
So cheers to that. To the smell of beer.
In diesem Sinne,
So, welcome to
Cheers.
the first edition of Late Night Studio.
And actually, for today, we have some kind of a theme because we have the Meteorix Awards today. So I think we'll talk a little about how the Meteorix came to life and how they are organized and how maybe all of you visitors and viewers can participate in the Meteorix. So first, you're part of the organizing committee.
Okay, yeah.
Any introduction to how the Meteorix came to be?
The Meteorix came, from my perspective, the Meteorix came to be when D-Fox approached me and said, I want to do an award, do you want to be head of jury? And I was drunk and I didn't say no. And that happened, and afterwards everything went by itself more or less. There used to be the Scene.org Awards up to 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I don't actually remember.
nobody does.
Nobody does. It was long in the past. It was back when people were still
Long
using
gone.
Like 2 years ago.
when Amigas were not emitting smoke and something like that. People liked them, except the people who did them, because as I heard, they were really stressful and people got into fights and stuff. So eventually they got discontinued. But D-Fox, obviously not completely outlasted by the organization of all these parties, decided that he wants to have a similar thing happening again. So he decided to organize them again, but didn't want to do it alone. And then in Finland, when I was drunk, he asked me, so I became the head of jury. And now we've got these awards, and the idea is actually, the idea was to have awards where everybody can propose the category and everybody can propose the winners, and everything was supposed to be very different. As it turned out, the result is pretty much very similar, except without the people hating each other.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, as you mentioned, we had the Scene.org awards before. So what's actually changed from their concept? They, as far as I know, they reviewed a lot of programs, prods themselves, and that actually changed with the Meteorix.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure since I never participated in the Scene.org Awards, but as I heard, they had one jury for all the categories. So they had 5 people who had to watch all the demos of the year and pick the nominees and choose the winners. And these 5 people were basically up to here with work and then completely leashed out at the end. So we changed that and we decided we have, for every category, we have a separate jury of people that fit that category. We have 3 people per category that choose, they're experts in that corresponding field anyway, they're supposed to be at least. And then they know most of the demos already, and they watch a couple more and then decide between them. And that seems to work really well. And the idea was to have it as open as possible, so everybody should be able to become a juror if they want to, propose nominees, propose categories, and that worked out really well. To our surprise, it worked out so well that the resulting categories are almost identical to what the Scene.org was.
Yeah,
See?
there was has been a discussion at Poet, like actually people complained about how the categories were the same as with the Scene of Awards, but then again, all these categories came from the sceners. So actually, they love what they hate. They voted for what they were complaining about in the first place. So.
Oh, it's always different people complaining than
Yeah.
voting, right?
But so there are some new categories. We had like
The jaw dropper.
the jaw dropper can't be done on the hardware categories, and that's like a more open category to me. Because normally you have those classic categories like old school intro, new school intro, modern demo. But now you have categories that actually capture a lot of sections. Like you can get nominated for outstanding graphics, you can get nominated for the music, and all compete in one category. So I think that's a big plus to the Meteorics.
Yeah.
And we had the storytelling one. I'm actually a little bit sad because that's actually my proposal for a category, and I wrote some nominees and they didn't pick all of them. I think I mentioned some ANSI as well because they, I think the Blocktronic guys released an ANSI at Party at the US. Actually a long scroller, but it was a story. It was drawn like a comic, and I'd like to have seen more products like that, or like maybe find a soundtrack. When I thought about this category was I was thinking about like JCO should be here. JCO Moniland das Leben. He released it back in 2007, and it's telling a story. It's music telling a story, and the graphics telling a story. And that's a personal favorite with the Meteorics. You got these categories actually like capturing spirits from different aspects.
Yeah, and I mean, the categories have already changed from last year quite a bit, and they'll probably change again in the future. So the advantage of having this open proposal system is that if in 1 year, I mean, say the graphicians complain that they were underrepresented this year, it can very well be that next year we will overrepresent them, and then the musicians will complain, and it will continue to develop, and we'll also see. We'll now gather some feedback and see if there's more ways in which, or other ways in which people can participate.
What do you implied certain reasons why the C.org Awards stopped?
I heard that people were pissed off. I have no idea who exactly it was or why exactly it was. But you probably have much more insight than me.
Maybe tell us what the Cedar Awards were about.
I'm just part of this, but if you want to know why we didn't have a new edition, it's a pretty simple thing. We had the 10th edition in Helsinki, I think it was. And I'm sitting there with Melvin. We're waiting for a train for him to go back from Helsinki home. And we're sitting there having a beer, and he says, "Where do you see the future of the Scene.org Awards?" And I'm saying, and this was not rehearsed or anything, and that's what I said. I said, well, if we want to stop, we have to do it now. Because it was the 10th edition, and we said, it's been there, and we've all done it, and it's repeating. And so we sort of departed from this with this idea that it can't continue like this. Something has to change. So the only thing that I know is after that, I write a longer email to the mailing list saying there are a few things that if we want to continue with this, that we need to do differently. I want open categories, I want different categories, pretty much what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any response. And everything after that was just, there was no one doing anything, so we didn't. But there wasn't, at least as far as I'm concerned, there were no fights. I didn't hear of any.
Okay. Oh, fair enough.
There was nothing. It was just nothing. So we stopped for 1 year, and then
Then it did get picked up again.
you picked up. That's it.
Yeah, the only information I had was from what, rumors to hearsay. People assumed there must have been something bad because, why else would they stop?
No, I just never got any response, and no one stepped in, and that was it. And then it was too late to do it.
So let's start including our other guests here. We have
I'm fine.
we have Yogi actually, aka Evilbot.
I just thought about getting a blanket and getting some sleep. So
And we
still
have
here.
JCO got lost, so you have to do the JCO part as well.
I don't think I'm capable of doing that.
I hope you didn't prepare any poems and stuff like that.
And
No post.
so we just give it a try. So maybe what's your view on the Meteorics?
My view on the Meteorics, well, I haven't really followed them, so I don't think I can really say anything. And I'd also say
You've only won them.
well, yeah, I won them, and I've been following the online thing and saw the categories and the nominees, and I saw that I was nominated for 3 categories, which was really nice. One for music, and one for art direction, and then one for demo, and that was amazing. But for example, I'm rather new to this, let's say. So I wasn't around when the C.Orgs awards were still there, so not actively participating. So.
How did Coronoid come up?
How did it come up? Well, it's actually, I'd say it's my second serious demo.
Okay.
So I had a storyboard which I drew on my holidays a couple of years ago. So I think it's actually pretty close to the storyboard, at least the first half is, because that's, I just turned that storyboard into an animation in our tool, and then did all that on a click track. So there was no music at all. And then I sent this to JCO, and then he picked it up, made music, and then I said, okay, let's switch halfway. So he made music for the second half, and then we switched sides and I animated on top of the music, which was, felt much more comfy because that's what I usually do when I make music videos or demos, because it's easier to do stuff when you're inspired by the music, and JCO made a fucking inspiring track, so yeah.
So that's the back and forth you mentioned.
Exactly, yeah. And also, I mean, it sounds not very binary now, but of course we were also going. At one part he put in electronic guitars, which I don't really like, so I asked him if he could take them out again and do something else, except, and yeah, so I think we both were very happy with it, and yeah, it was lots of communication about the soundtrack through the sound and through email, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
And your first time met each other on stage, obviously, and missed each other the first time.
Yeah, exactly. Like when he came up to the stage because he won the music, I wasn't sure if I should also go up because I thought, okay, this is not for the musician. Like I shouldn't go up there, but yeah. Then he said I would not be around or something. I don't know. It's fun.
So, Evilbot, let's talk about you.
Yes.
It's actually funny how you ended up being part of the Meteorics and being part of the opening ceremony as well. We have made an Evilbot mask for, planned to have Evilbot included into the opening. Meteora made an awesome mask for it, and
I was originally planned to wear it. So she approaches me with the mask and I put it on it. I go, oh, my nose, and it turned out that I have a too long face for the mask. I couldn't see shit. I couldn't see anything. I'm not quite sure if you could see anything through the mask.
Well, almost.
yeah, that's why we had the two securities guarding him at all time.
So we basically had to find someone with a smaller face.
So that's how you get famous. Have a small face.
It's all about faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up front.
Wait.
It's not about size, they say, but sometimes.
I hope you pronounce that right.
Like what?
No, okay, let's skip that.
Faces, not pieces. We're not talking about pieces here.
But
There could be kids
it was
watching.
a good and funny addition to the awards, having you there. But it's interesting that Meteorics is always like between serious and fun. And we added this element to the third edition of the Meteorics. And what do you think about like having a character from an invite actually presenting the Public Choice Awards?
What do I think? Well, for me, it probably was not that much fun because I had to guess like everything mostly. But I think the viewers had some fun, and well, since the award ceremony was quite long and also a little bit delayed, it was a good injection to get at least a little bit of fun. I hope so.
Yeah.
Fun and confetti.
Yeah, nobody died in that part, so well, I guess
Did you have any time to practice with like?
yeah, a little like I don't know, 2 hours
Oh, okay.
or like 2 hours before the start. But well, it's not that I sat there 2 hours, but as with the opening, I had the audio tracks, I had the text or something similar to the text at least, and I made some marks which words could be good to add gestures to them, and on stage, both during the opening and during the award ceremony, I did not hear all the keywords for me.
Okay.
And also I didn't see anything, and well, I had to improvise in a way, and since I haven't seen the recording of it, I'm still not sure if it matched what I had in mind. But it's too late anyway. Yeah, there was. You said it, I guess. Somebody was yelling in the audience, and I were able to find out where it came from, kinda, and pointed there like a reflex, and that saved some things, I guess. And other things didn't work as I planned to, but I tried to prepare, but it didn't settle that early, so I was not that confident. And hearing the audio track on the headphones is something else than being on stage and having background music like the awards. And I heard the video. I was supposed to comment without wanting to directly look at it because it moved the mask away from the audience. How did the sentence start? Whatever. And the video wasn't quite as it should be. I think it stopped or was restarted or whatever.
Yeah, there was a problem with the script. It actually told me, because I was doing all the video stuff, to skip to the next track. But somebody actually cut all those parts together, so there was nothing to skip to.
Yes. Oh,
That's
you didn't
why
know
we
that?
restarted the video.
Oh, alright, okay. I think I've heard the second time I hit the right spots, but not the first time. Also, I was totally unaware that I would get a microphone because I needed 2 hands. Basically, I was planning to gesture with both hands. Then there was the trophy that didn't stay on the podium and slide it down to me, which of course I didn't see, but I felt. And I had the microphone in the hand, and that was unexpected, but I had to deal with it in a way, and I think it worked out quite well. And during the opening, people thought it wasn't, it was playback. Now I can reveal it, but and people thought, at least questioning if it was live or playback, and I think that's good enough for that. And
I was in Meteorics, it definitely didn't seem like playback.
Yeah, I kind of knew the text, and I in part spoke the text out loud or something like that, and was able to move my head a little bit, and I think that was good enough to give the impression that it was kind of like.
So I'd like to take that opportunity to have a little, not discussion, but maybe state your opinions on, because there's always a discussion on Poet and other platforms have awards to be super serious, like the Oscars. You have you have the comedy doing the announcement, but most people were complaining about the Meteorics they don't take themselves seriously, but do awards have to be a serious thing?
I think they do not have to. I just had a chat with Dojo earlier, and I said that I felt the C.org Awards, as I happen to know them, were too like professional, and you wanted to be too clean, and I think that was not necessary and probably not the right direction. So
I've had
I know.
I've had very mixed feedback about it. The thing is, like, I don't really have a personal opinion on it. Just because I've done it, and when you're up there and you do the show, it's very difficult to see it as other people would. You just do your program, you do your jokes, you just do what you do. It's very difficult to have an outside perspective on it. But I have heard stuff like, oh, this is too serious, this is too this and that. And so I would at times try to mirror it with people to say, do you actually, what's your take on this? And I have had various people come up to me and say, oh, why don't you do the awards anymore? I love that show. And like, no, and I would say stuff like, what, was it too serious? Was it too silly? Was it too this? And they went, no, it was great. And to me, a certain silliness is always nice to loosen things up. But if you've ever had, I mean, you've had the statues in your hands, obviously. But when you have the statue and it's an elegant piece of art, and you hand this out and you just joke about it, to me it's somehow not right, because it's an actual award. You're giving this out. I mean,
But there's a difference between being serious and being insincere. I mean, having Evilbot present on stage is not a serious thing. It's actually funny, but it's still sincere.
ladies and gentlemen, it is JCO.
Finally.
Party's over.
J to the C to the O. The man with
The
hat.
serious
Man
part
with
of the
hat.
discussion is now over. Come on.
Actually, we managed to do some serious stuff. That's actually a good start for us.
So we were talking about the subject of being serious in an award show, and I think it's unnecessary.
vultures.
Interestingly, the Finnish word for state is valta. So vulture.
Valta.
Valta.
Mein Gott, Walter.
Mein Gott,
Walter
Valta.
Freiwald.
Alter Valta.
Da kann man nichts mehr zu sagen.
No, okay.
Alter Valta.
English, please.
Yes, English.
We are now leaving
So-
the serious part of the discussion. And
JCO, what is your opinion on the meteorics?
Oh, allow me to elaborate.
Please do so.
Yeah, I'd really love to. I'd love to elaborate. Because it's this opportunity I'd like to grasp this time and now and today. And at this very moment where I feel so involved, so part of a scene that means so much to me personally.
in your heart.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about you. So what's your standing? What's your standing towards the demo scene? Is it you? Or is it the scene? Or is it the demos? Is it the the Amiga? Or maybe the platforms?
Or the
for
food
themselves?
outside.
Or maybe it's just a questionable attitude. Maybe it's just the attitude we should question towards the scene, towards ourselves. And this is what I want you to think about right now. Who to vote right now? Is it a bot? Is it evil? What does evil mean?
I think the fundamental question is what's the idea that wants to be community?
Yeah, but who gives a
wants
shit?
to be?
Who gives a shit about what you think?
The viewers. They've been watching, obviously,
no.
us lathering in very serious terms about.
Excuse me, I'm just trying to be honest.
Yes, but they are still tuned in. They are either
No offense.
or they are
no
actually
offense
giving a
at
shit.
all. Okay. Maybe just for the sake
Illustrate. Please
for
illustrate.
analogy.
Yes.
Anal.
Anal orgy.
Anal
Please dance
orgy.
it.
Just for the sake of anal orgy. Please take a look at this balloon.
I'd like to scoop through the Pac-Man thing now.
I want you to take a look, a good look, at this balloon.
Strong look.
The anal orgy.
Not. This is. This is a C64.
It's the new SID chip, isn't it? It sounds like the new SID chip.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, it's a new SID chip. Okay, so this is. Take a good look. Fuck you.
Let me illustrate. If this is a C64,
It is gone.
it is gone.
It is
It
dead.
is dead. It is now wrapped around my middle finger. I mean, dear audience, I'm not making this up. It is wrapped around my middle finger.
That wraps it
I
up.
think JCO should do the meteoric.
You would be the perfect angry host.
It is now time for
I'm
random
not
science
angry.
fact. Number
I'm
507.
not. It's not angry. I'm not angry.
Just dissatisfied.
I'm just furious. I'm not angry. I'm furious.
Yes. You're not screaming.
I'm not fast.
Okay,
I'm
but
furious.
you're getting there.
Well, and this concludes today's edition of the Late Night Studio.
The Late Night Studio.
Ladies
Brought
and
to
gentlemen,
you by beer.
tune in tonight, tomorrow night even, for another edition of JCO quoting stuff from his cell phone, which you didn't see tonight because he did it before we were live.
You know, German is a difficult language.
We will now learn a
Yeah,
piece
that's
of
so
Finnish
true.
vocabulary. The Finnish word for Sturmgeschütz is Hyökkäysvaunu.
Well, I thought it was perkele.
And
Jumalauta!
Jumalauta.
I am still in awe by the mere fact that in Finnish there is a verb that basically means to drink yourself silly in your underpants.
And this
Kansali
is.
Kennit.
And this is why we love your nose. It's photogenic
And it knows.
and it knows.
And it's too big for
So,
us.
Two nose.
Too bad joke.
2 noses, 2 dead boots,
Hello, public.
Oh no.
and cut it.
Ah, the public.